ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to That'll Beat $8, the podcast, aka the Black Awareness Rally, a podcast. You could be rocking with anybody else in the world right now, but you are here with us. And for that, we do appreciate you. It's your man Pledge, alongside my main man B.
Hello, y'all.
And we welcome all of you guys to the discussion. What has been going on, B?
Hey, man. Chilling. Trying to socialize. How about you?
Same old thing, man. Work and holding down the family. That's about it.
So you came out with the Florida Gators fire. Couldn't wait to throw that on.
Hey man, we looked good yesterday. It felt good to have the have the game firing, putting up 51 points.
Yeah, that was a lot.
That Spurrier era when I truly fell in love with the squad. So
when he wouldn't let black people quarterback.
See, there you go. We got a black offensive coordinator. That's why he was breaking records yesterday.
But nah, congratulations, nigga. It looked like the SEC was gonna be upside down this year. A couple of them games.
Yeah, man. I was gonna say the Florida Gators looked like the best team in the SEC until Bama played later in the afternoon.
We ain't look that great to me.
Huh?
We ain't look that great to me. But,
well, I mean, it's still early in the season, but LSU, unimpressive.
That was shocking.
Yeah. So I mean, I was happy to see the game back in style. Georgia. I'm not too worried about Georgia at this point. So I think it's gonna be. I think we could control the East and potentially meet Alabama in that chip. So.
Hey man, we welcome it, man. We welcome it. Welcome. You know what I mean? Hopefully, we don't get derailed by anything odd this year. We got our defense at full tilt, and QB looking pretty sharp back there. So
yes,
we'll take it. Oh, also congratulations on your Lakers making it. To the joint.
So no doubt. Yeah, it's I don't know, man. Things are lining up well.
You don't get derailed by anything odd this year. I know. I didn't watch Friday night. I was exhausted. I did some volunteer work, and I just couldn't check in mentally.
You're talking about with the Celtics and the Heat?
Yeah, I just assumed we was gonna lose, bro. It's pretty bad. Because when I checked in, we was down by 10, and I was like, man, can't do it tonight. Because I ain't had a mental capacity for it. I was just like trying to get to bed.
Yeah.
I did end up watching some TV. I guess I just needed to not care about what was on. So, but we got a little W. Supposed to be playing again tonight.
Yeah. Again tonight. I mean, the whole first half, I thought. I mean, the Celtics they just didn't look right. They looked out of sync. Looked like they might have been pressing a little bit.
Yeah.
But in the third quarter, they made that huge swing.
Right.
I think they scored 41
in the third
quarter.
Yeah, I went back and looked at it.
Down by I think 10 to being up by 7. So that was big. And then I don't know. As I said, man, as somebody who wants to see the Lakers win, I would definitely prefer to play the Celtics than the Heat. So
that's how you feel.
So
shots fired. Pew.
I'm definitely for the Celtics. And then if anything, y'all go 7, so y'all can tire each other out, and the Lakers be at the crib resting. So.
Yeah, man. I've been thinking about that, but at this point, we're just gonna have to take whatever we can get to get us in that thing. I don't know, man. I think we got what we need to get there, but it's just the guys to finishing late in the game. So that's the whole problem. Because we done been leading every game by double digits. Just that late run that everybody always go on. You know the saying, everybody gonna make a run. So you got to be able to take them shots when they happen.
No doubt.
Anyway, yeah. Sports. See y'all boys going up in the chat last night. Liddy! I missed it.
Yeah.
I was on the phone.
Man, I mean, we got some interesting characters. I should say one interesting character in the chat who
Who,
I don't
Drill?
know. I think he just loves to be a contrarian and to push different buttons. But it is what it is, man.
Yeah. Oh well. Oh well. Oh well. Yeah. Yeah. It is what it is. But yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. This week show gonna be a little different. We'll see how it works. Here we go. Oh, let me redo that. Let me redo that. All right. Black Awareness Rally brought to you by the incomparable McDowells. They got the Big Mick. No, we got the Big Mick. They got the Big Mac. They got to go in the Arches. We got to go in the Arcs. 87. What is it? 87 something Queens Boulevard.
Yes.
Yeah. So donations. Gladly take the kind that jingles, but rather have the kind that fold. We need to like work that into the show some kind. Like start a Patreon or something like that, like everybody else be doing. Well, anyway, also brought to you by another title sponsor, Sexual Chocolate. You know what I mean? The venerable Randy Watson led group, and y'all lock in for that VH1 behind the music. I'm telling y'all, ain't gonna miss that, boy. I learned a lot about Randy Watson.
And the fellas reached out to me from Mighty Sharp to Barbershop. They feel like we kind of let them down a little bit with the name change.
Listen, man.
But they did want to they wanted us to let the people know that the shop is back open. You have to follow COVID procedures and protocols.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to check your temperature
once
you step into the building. But they back open, and for this week only, all haircuts $8.
That'd be $8.
That's taking it back to what, 87? That was the rate in 87. So
yeah, that was the rate 87. Maybe.
And please tip. You get an $8 haircut. Please tip on top of that. So.
Hey, Wally, who's gonna get sued by that? Wally's gonna get sued. I don't know, man. Welcome that smoke. The last time they didn't want none. But
I didn't say anything about Mighty Sharp the show. I said Mighty Sharp the shop.
Yeah, the shop.
The shop.
So, yeah, man. It's nice to hear the fellas doing all right. You know what I mean? Corona ain't shut them down. I heard a lot of industries were suffering. You ever find out if they got one of them the PPE loans? Not the PPE loans, but the CARES Act loans. I know a lot of brothers on the internet were saying they weren't getting them loans. It was coming a little too late. If they did,
they were able to survive it.
True.
It sounds like they up and running, and they back just in time, for
the reopening of Florida,
so they could debate and and talk about what they see that's going on in the sports landscape. So and also in the social climate as well, because they address everything from Martin Luther King to
ain't no shame
to the greatest boxer of all time. So
what's his name?
Rocky Marciano.
It's Rocky Marciano.
That's day one.
He beat Joe Lewis's ass.
Joe Lewis was 75 years old when they fought.
Oh, nigga, you ain't never met no Martin Luther King. Listen, man. Oh yeah, I gotta pay them cats a visit, man. These are good people. These are good dudes. Good people. Need more like them. I know. I need to check in with them. Probably take a young lady by there this time. That they enjoy the festivities. Yes. But
they'll teach you how to rap to them.
Saying, hey, listen.
You think
ain't never met no man got no loving because the hair look good. I ain't never met no man. Woman gave no man no loving because the hair look good. And
you thinking you know how to talk to the young lady? He gonna say, "Hey, gotta get in good with the papa."
No, like you look, ain't never met. Kendra said, Joe Frazier was 75 when they fought. He wouldn't know. He's the resident boxing expert. I'm gonna let him have it on that one. I know nothing about that. I know nothing, nothing at all. So if he say so, then I'm gonna let him have it. But yeah, man. Guess we're gonna be kicking the bobo on this one. Hey, man, y'all ain't have what y'all said? Because I know y'all said splitting the chicken, but you got that from Georgia, right?
Splitting the chicken, yeah, kicking the bobo, yeah, all that. Those from country.
Orlando ain't had no specific one. Cause I asked everybody last week after the show. Uh, I was like, man, what y'all say when y'all talking about just hanging out? Wally,
Yes,
what
I mean
y'all say to Queens? I mean
splitting the chicken
Rochester.
when I heard in Orlando as well. So
Which one you heard in Orlando?
I heard splitting the chicken is from Georgia and from Orlando. So
Oh yeah.
I heard it in both places.
Uh, what we used to say it, kicking it, chilling. Uh, one that we found kind of controversial. He's like, man, what y'all doing? Shit. just just hit it with that.
Yes.
So I don't know. The regionalized way to say stuff. I saw a meme this week with somebody talking about the little things they used to be in the grass. They'd be like this big. They'd be like prickly. And if you like ran through the grass at a school that had like a lot of weeds, probably get them on your socks. They used to
Oh
stick
yeah,
to a
yeah, I heard
lot.
it.
What y'all used to call them?
Um, I'm struggling to remember, but I know exactly what you're talking about though.
Yeah, that was like a huge debate on the timeline this week. Thought that was funny. I think we used to call them sticker spurls, sticker pearls, sticker
Oh,
pearls. I don't know. But anyway. All right, man. Black Awareness Rally. Let us do it to it. I think I'm prepared this time. Brother took some pictures. We're gonna do the Black Awareness Rally pageant nominee. I nominate Dr. Shiva Quinn, and she is the a homeschool teacher that created a virtual African American history course for free. And if you're one of the parents out there listening that has to assist in the education of your child during these unprecedented times, you can check out Dr. Shiva Quinn. It's Doctor, obviously. Shiva spelled Sheva. And she's making headway in the tech industry by creating that free course and curriculum for the babies. Yeah, brown baby. Y'all call them sandal spurs? Yeah, I think I heard somebody call them sandal spurs too. You ever heard sandal spurs?
yeah.
Yeah, that sounds familiar too. Uh, maybe that was it, sandal spurs, because we used to say it real funny. Got anybody want to nominate for the pageant?
Yes, I would like to nominate the young lady name is Wilhelmina Rubin Cook, and she is the first Black woman to get a building named after her at Duke University. So I
Whoa.
want to give a shout out to that sister.
Hey, how long do you
Um,
think it's going to take for them to get that vandalized?
oh boy. Um,
Over under
I
six
don't. I
months.
mean, I I'm a I'm a Duke fan, so I'm
Yeah,
hoping that,
it doesn't
and
happen.
I'm pretty sure it won't be a Duke student. It'll probably be somebody who just a local who never even had thoughts and aspirations of going to the university.
That sounds nice.
But nah, man. I mean, big ups to that sister for getting that nod. But nah, I'm hoping not. I'm hoping that Duke institution of higher learning and kind of the upper echelon of that or whatever. I hope it's progressive enough to where something like that will happen.
Sure. Well, I'm hoping to. What was it? What was the
But we
name
gonna need some
again?
extra security though. We gonna need some extra cameras. I mean,
You think they're gonna put you gonna think they're gonna put a racial slur or a woman slur, like a sexist slur? Which one you think they're gonna put?
I think they're going
They're gonna make a
double
combo.
entendre. They're gonna go for that combo, that 2-piece combo.
Is it fucked up that we betting that this is gonna happen?
Turn down for what? I'm saying.
Oh man, that's so bad, man. That's fucked up. We even gotta have this conversation, dog. Like, how long you think it's gonna take before it get vandalized? Man, I hope that don't happen, man.
Y'all like right up there, man.
Yeah. North Carolina, fam, please protect the building.
Yes.
All right, for arts and entertainment, the Randy Watson Sexual Chocolate segment, I am going to nominate Mr. Jonathan Majors. He was, he's the lead actor one of the lead actors in the ensemble cast for Lovecraft Country. If you saw The Five Bloods, he was the son of, I guess, the protagonist. He was the son of, I just drew a blank on what old boy name is. Big Dog, LeBron Daddy.
Yeah.
Hey, what is his name? Just drew a blank. But anyway, Jonathan Majors was the youngest member of the Five Bloods cast. So he was the son. But I want to give him shout out and props for getting put on GQ's October issue. He's on the cover. So shout out to that guy.
Didn't he get a Marvel nod as well?
Yeah, I think he just got one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know anything about Marvel, but I think I heard that too.
Yeah, I think he got a lead role. Well, not a lead role, but he's gonna be in like an ensemble cast. I think it was out of DC. For some reason, I want to say John Jones, Martian Manhunter. I could be way off, but I remember hearing that. Now I finally did a blog piece this weekend, man. Yeah, I was thinking about Jonathan Majors, how he's kind of the new face of Blurds. Anybody that's not familiar with that, it's Black Nerds or Afrofuturism. One of the new faces for that. So it's always cool to see him get recognition for it. And he's definitely having a moment right now with Lovecraft Country. And the sisters are enjoying that, brother. So looks like he has some staying power. And I wish him well.
Yes, definitely. My sports and entertainment moment is going to be, I think we talked about Major League Baseball a little bit last week, but they made a pledge to commit $10 million to increase participation amongst young African American boys growing up. So, I guess they've come to the determination or realization that participation amongst young black boys in baseball has diminished over the last 20 or so years. So they're putting their money behind it and trying to make the sport more appealing and open up the doors for access for young black men. So shout out to Major League Baseball for making that happen.
Yeah, big up. It is huge. I think we talked about that.
Baseball was actually the first sport I played growing up.
Really?
Yeah. I played baseball before I played basketball, but I don't know, it just didn't have the excitement that basketball had. So
it does seem like it's a lot of waiting around.
Yeah, it is.
What position you played?
Shortstop.
Woo, a lot of waiting.
Yeah, shortstop.
Second only to what? Maybe outfield?
Yeah, outfield is very bad.
You can knit a sweater out there from the looks of it.
So yeah.
No, that's what's up. MLB finally jumping in the game. You need to go ahead and up it up. What he said, 10 million or 10 billion?
10 million. It's a start.
Somehow. Not gonna look the gift horse in the mouth. Well, that's what's up. We'll take it. What you think is the impediment for kids, inner city kids wanting to play baseball? Because all you need is a stick and a ball.
Well, excuse me. I don't think there's a lot of representation to where they could see black, athletes, black current baseball players. Yeah. I don't think, and that's the one thing too, is that Major League, they don't market their players well at all.
True.
So you don't really know who the best player is or what they're about, or you don't see the personality in them the way the NBA does. I mean, the NBA players, they come before the team in a lot of senses, as
Yes.
far as being marketable. So I don't think they see a lot of representation. Like when I was growing up, I mean, you had King Griffey Jr., you had like David Justice, you had, visible black men who you could see and be like, kind of want to emulate. But right now, I'm, maybe McCutcheon, but
What about Willie Mays Hayes? They need Willie Mays Hayes back out there.
yeah, I mean, yeah, you had, you had some more charismatic black people who kind of drew you to the sport, and so
Yeah.
I don't think that that's the case anymore. And then two is that yeah, all you need is stick to the ball, but a lot of times, basketball courts are more plentiful than baseball fields.
Yeah, that's
Um,
true. True.
so and as I said, I just don't think you see a lot of you know black people that have done it successfully and who are able to kind of come back and and teach the sport or to promote the sport.
You need Michael Jordan back out there. Hey man, Kendrell, what was the impetus for you getting started? Because I know Kendrell was, I think that was one of his original loves too. So uh, he's real big in the sport in the baseball itself. That's what's up, man. Yeah, I used to try to want to be a pitcher. I always thought being a pitcher was cool, but I never played any organized baseball or any kind. So big up to y'all for actually getting that done. uh, Dang, time of year, post nasal drip. But we got Jonathan Majors, like you were just saying. I looked it up. He was getting he got cast as the next villain in the next Ant-Man movie. So that's gonna be extra huge actually. That's what's up, man. For the community moment, I don't have one. There's a dude I was finna say. Oh, yes I do. Yes I do. Yes I do. Yes I do. Morris Brown, dog. Remember them? Morris Brown
Yeah,
College is just about ready to be back on the national stage. They are, their problem was accreditation, and they had a new president step up by the name of Dr. Kevin E. James, and he's been putting in the work to get them reaccredited. And the Georgia Non-Public Post-Secondary Education Commission, which authorizes and regulates the operations of in-state non-public and the out-of-state post-secondary colleges and schools operating or offering instruction in Georgia, has renewed all degree programs at Morris Brown College. So kind of cool, man. People should
yeah.
enroll and take some classes, dog. I know.
I mean, this was something that they were dealing with way back when we first started college. Because wasn't there a sister or something like that who was that Morris Brown and then had to come to USF? Ooh
I, I
man, dang it!
yeah.
I just did what you put.
This UCF, ain't it? Boo, boo. I ain't heard
Man,
that one in a minute. No, didn't they make like a TV commercial after that? That was like the same thing. I remember.
oh no, man. But I feel bad because we clown old boy
You
for
can't
doing
give me
that,
some heat.
and
Little
I just
scrap
did the
at
same
someone and
thing.
try to hype it up. Nah, scrap it. It ain't that easy. Niggas was mad in the crowd. Just got quiet. Niggas like, no, niggas, this is UCF, ain't it? I was like, yeah, the disrespect.
Yeah, man.
But
Yeah, but I think there was some. I think there was some fallout to where back then it was some people who had to transfer into USF because of the Morris Brown situations.
man, I'm kind of happy to hear about it. I think they needed $4 million. I remember reading a report about it, and they ended up getting that money. So that's huge, man. I definitely heard they were going to do like some groundbreaking on the hall. I don't know if it was a hall like Cooper Hall or Resident Hall. So
Hmm.
shots out to them. I feel like the world will be balanced. They come back. I don't know. Y'all interested, man? Y'all can certainly donate. Um, Again, that's Morris Brown College getting a accreditation back.
Definitely.
Got what you got.
And oh yeah, for our community moment, man, I just want to. It was a lot of different organizations, channels that were really making a strong drive for the voter registration this week.
Mm-hmm.
I know that Michelle Obama, she had had something. A lot of organizations that say like TV channels, they made a really strong push for voter registration this week. So I
Yeah.
want to shout them out and give a big up to them. A lot of celebrities that have been talking about different challenges or just different mindsets that where they thought they couldn't vote, but now they're like, oh, I can vote, so this is going to be my first time voting. I think Mike Tyson's what 54,
He
and he
was one
was
of the
like,
people
this
that never
is
voted.
yeah, he was like, because remember he had that felony charge
That's true.
that he had to go to prison for, so he didn't know that he could vote, but he can vote. So he said this is going to be his first time voting. So this is a big push to get as many people registered as possible, and I think hopefully that leads to a great turnout. Even though I mean, I don't know, man. I just do not know how to feel about this. I just really don't. Like, I know I'm definitely voting. I hope my vote gets counted, but I just do not have any confidence in in your boy doing the right thing. Like, I just really do not have any confidence in 45 doing the right thing.
My
And I
Cheeto,
and I sent you the video to where on the Daily Show
Trevor Noah.
Trevor Noah like laid out the plan of how he can
Steal it.
contest the nomination and have it go to where basically every swing state, a person can, despite how many votes come in, yay or nay, a person in every swing state one person can decide, if he gets that state's electoral college votes.
Yeah,
So
that's for those of us that are concerned about that, that's a popular thing for the politically disengaged. What they call them, politically unavailable term. I learned this weekend.
hmm,
Uh, it helps that if you get out there and vote early, there won't be like such a backlog on the third. Because I remember watching that probably like 2 o'clock one night after you sent it. Uh, they kind of counting on the votes not being counted on the third and stretching it out the full length of time to quote unquote validate ballots. So uh I mean if y'all gonna vote, try to vote early.
yeah,
Mail in ballots do not mean you have to put it in a mailbox. That means if you got it in the mail sent to your house, you can fill it out at your house and then go deliver it to
to the Office of Elections.
yeah, you can go to Office of Elections. Uh, I want to say you could put it. Just go to the office of elections, local elections, supervisor of elections. I know Tampa has a lot of locations that you can get that done. Uh,
Yeah,
Also, census. They tried to put it off on September 30th. They tried to end it on September 30th, which was illegal, but it got extended to October 31st, which was the original date. So, guys, go ahead and fill the census out. That gets money sent into your neighborhood through public funding, and you guys can benefit from that in varying ways: telephone poles, uh, streets, which I think is wildly important. Lord knows Georgia need all their streets repaved, but stuff like that, just street lights, street cameras, not cameras, what you call it, street lights, stop lights. There you go, traffic lights. All those different things will be one of the ways you can use it. And definitely get the taxes sent to your local school. So. Uh, Yeah, man, I feel you. It seems like Trump is kind of sort of concerned, and he's going to try his best to find as many loopholes, dare I say, cheat, tried to steal this one. So let's keep applying that pressure. Let's get everybody out and vote. Let's not forget that Trump's supporters are going to show up no matter what. They are going to show up, and they are going to show up en masse, and they are not going to be deterred. Uh, uh, that was one of the things I saw pop up a lot this week was this big, the big debate about Trump reelecting the Supreme Court judge. But apparently, I didn't know presidents get to select judges in different and like lower seated organizations around the country. And
Mm-hmm.
the new game plan seems to be to just instill as many conservative judges, aka conservative white folk, in the positions as possible, so that they can interpret as many of the laws in many different cities and states to benefit white supremacy. The white supremacy. So uh, judges will be on the local ballots in some cases. Y'all get out there and vote, man. Trust me. Y'all might not think the president got anything to do with you, but them judges in y'all cities, that's the reason your cousin gonna get locked up. That's the reason your sister might have got locked up, or you might
Yeah, I
have
mean,
lost that case.
and I mean, the state attorneys, all those positions are pivotal, and honestly, a lot of times, those positions have more to do with how our daily lives play out than what happens on the federal level.
Right.
So local elections are just as important as the national elections. As I said, a lot of times, like B was saying, is that those elections have more so of an impact on our daily lives, filling out the census and what resources we have in our neighborhoods, and also what officials we have locally in our neighborhoods are going to have more of an effect on us than what happens at the federal level. So all of it's important. We have to make sure that all of us that we exercise that power that we do have to vote the right people in office. I mean, Kentucky is a great example of that, to where it wasn't just the police that were wrong in that situation. It was the
System.
whole line,
Team.
the whole chain of command was
In on it.
just egregiously wrong or whatever. And so a lot of those were elected positions that messed up. The sheriff of your local county, that's an elected position. Like people don't understand that that a lot of these are elected people that we put in office or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is the way how we can control the outcomes before they get to that point. We can control the people that are in place so they make the proper decisions and put together the proper procedures and protocols so things don't get to a point to where it's tragic before we're trying to demand things. So
Yeah. Let's not be deceived, man. These local votes and local elections, that as few as 40 votes will be the deciding factor in who sits in certain seats that have governance over, like you said, over an entire police department. Like, I know my mom's election a couple years back when she ran the first time. I think the total number of people that voted was like 3,400 people.
oh wow.
So, I mean, don't sit out thinking that it doesn't matter, doesn't count. It's all for y'all. And to that end, we saw something that, like I said, I'd be listening to some old heads that do this. I've been doing it for decades. Kind of ran into a couple of them this weekend in person. I'm a little volunteer stint. They was like, man, a lot of the reason a lot of us are kind of blowing in the wind, so to speak, we still on that. Both parties are, neither one of them care about us. Ain't no difference between the Republicans and the Democrats. You saw Meek Mill drop a freestyle that was terrible. Terrible
No,
freestyle about voting.
I didn't hear it.
You lucky. But he was like, they don't tell us what the difference between the Republicans and the Democrats is, and they still want me to vote. Like, listen, man, it ain't about that. It's about voting, then forcing people's hands. You're likely to get Democrats to listen to you as opposed to Republicans. But get out here and join these civic organizations. Get out here and join these Eastern Stars and Prince Hall Masons and NAACP. Stuff that you don't have to have a college degree to join. Join
Yeah,
some of these unions out here and bolster the rosters that these organizations have, and then make your presence known in the community. I mean, sororities and fraternities, they're gonna do what they do, but join these local civic organizations. You ain't got to go to college and all that to join some of this stuff and get into the fight. So let's do something. Volunteer to church. I saw this Asian guy. I can't tell what country it might have been from, but he was definitely an Asian guy. Uh, at the volunteering event, and I was trying to figure out like who to go to, tell him I signed in or whatever, like to sign in. He's like, I don't know, man. I just saw an ad on Craigslist to come volunteer, and I showed up. And I was like, wow. So, checks. I ain't know Craigslist was still running, but just look for opportunities to just lend a pair of hands, man. I didn't do nothing special. I just lifted some boxes, helped somebody put food in their trunk. 2.5 hours, passed out a couple flyers, and that helped. Uh,
definitely.
yeah, man, don't be dissuaded. Anyway, I didn't make any graphics because I think I wasn't prepared. But the topics for the week, it's kind of chilling and what's going on. So, what you want to get into first, man? You just run through the feed. I guess the biggest thing would have been the Breonna Taylor decision.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I kind of alluded to it in my earlier point about how important voting is. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but and as I said, I had a conversation with you earlier, like I think probably about a month or two ago, before the verdict was released or whatever of the
Mm-hmm.
grant of the and honestly, I mean, as I said, it was a crazy situation, horrible situation. I didn't see how they were going to charge the cops with anything. As I said, it's very sad that I had that. And believe me, it still hurt when I heard
Yeah.
the news. I was like, man, it's crazy. But I just thought it was a indictment of the entire legal system of what happened with her. The fact that a judge signed off on the warrant, fact that the police lieutenant was like, hey, y'all go serve this or whatever. That's two. And then the investigation, like I heard Benjamin Crump, the attorney that's representing the family, he was talking about the investigation of how the neighbor that they said heard that they had knocked on the door and announced themselves, how 2 times before when he was asked, he said, nah, that didn't happen.
Yeah.
And then on the third time, when when they were doing the investigation, he was like, yeah.
Yeah. My bad. I
And
heard
then
it.
but Benjamin Crump, they interviewed 12 different neighbors of surrounding buildings, and all of them had the same story of like, nah, we didn't hear them announce themselves or not. So that's it, man. It just goes to show you just how bad. I said it's not just police officers who were knowledgeable in this incident. I mean, and the thing is that after the fact, the police reports that they wrote up were wrong. They were saying that nobody got hurt when somebody got killed.
Yeah.
They're like, oh yeah, nobody. There was no ambulance on the scene or anything. I mean, it was everybody in that chain of command was just wrong. all the way up to Daniel Cameron, the Attorney General for the state of Kentucky. And what's sad is that this brother's going to ride this. He's going to be the next up and coming star in the Republican Party.
Mm-hmm.
From this, I think they probably made some kind of promises to him, that hey, take care of this case or whatever, and you can write your ticket to wherever you want it, whatever you want to do in the party. That seems to be it. I mean, because when Trump was asked about, I shouldn't say, I hate to say his name, when 45 was asked about it, like that was his response, like, oh man, Daniel Cameron, that's our dude,
that's my
like
boy.
like, come on, man. So they're really propping him up to be the next star in the party or whatever, and it just I don't know, man. I'm just, as I said, I just think there was so many people who were wrong and whose actions, and it's crazy how everybody's wrong actions can align,
right?
to like just come together and work out.
Seemed like a coordinated effort.
Yeah, and so I mean, it's just a very, very heartbreaking situation that it was just I don't know, man. It was just very, very, very bad. So that's my interpretation.
It was
situation.
Yeah. I told you, you had asked about it. I was like, man, I just tried to avoid the whole thing because I felt much like you did. I just didn't have faith that justice would be served correctly, partially. I just didn't feel like the AG had any impetus to do the right thing. And even though I had that exact position, when they dropped the verdict, I was still like, man, damn. Like,
it hurt.
Yeah. And I just felt like it was like insulting as fuck when they made the charge that they did render. It was like, really, Doug? Really? Like, y'all really just kind of felt like they was like just trying to fuck with people on that one.
Yeah. Here's the thing for me though, is that when I read the headline, I was like, one officer charged or whatever. I was like, oh, well, one person got charged. But then when I like read the article and what they got charged with, I was like, that's not a charge. Like, but like when I was like one officer charged and the other two, I was like, well, at least we got one out of the three. But then you read the charges, it's like we ain't getting nothing. Like we
ain't getting nothing. So it's I feel sad because it really felt like people were trying to help this time, Like even if it became a trendy thing to do, that was a nice trend to have. That everybody was saying, say her name. Everybody was like, Breonna Taylor. And
yeah, I mean, because it's so obvious. It really is so obvious. Like it's not like if you were like, oh, it's her fault. Like, what ground would you have to stand on if you were to say that? Well, there was only one person I know who made it seem like it was her fault. And both of us know who that is.
What, in real life or on
in real life? Like, yeah, a real life human being was like
that, well, we know.
Like we don't know him in person.
Oh.
We know of their we know of their of
you
what
talking about old girl, is you?
Yeah, old girl, yeah.
Old girl weighed in on it?
Yeah, she weighed
in. Yeah.
She was talking about her being involved with a drug trafficker, and
that's their one. That's their line. Like, you know what I'm curious about, man? Because everybody was saying that. Everybody, on that side of the issue was saying that. Where do they meet to get their talking points? I'm asking that because I tried to watch Fox Morning News this week. Like I tried to watch it 2 days in a row. I just want to see and hear the type of things that, they're saying. And obviously I was watching the morning show because, it was the morning time. And to my surprise, they were damn near pretty neutral and objective about how they were reporting the issues of the day. And I was like, okay, so the talking points that you know Cheeto be spewing out, the talking points that the people in the comments are saying, those aren't particularly coming from this show. I know Fox has a ton of different shows, but these four people that they had sitting on the panel, they were all just kind of sort of being as close as you could to be neutral with the stats. Then they had one girl on that was kind of sort of making some suggestive comments about different things. But I was like, even still, that wasn't as outlandish as she used to know a dude and might have kissed and hugged him and liked 5 of his pictures on Facebook that sold drugs, and that's why she deserved to be shot 8 times. Like,
Yeah.
they didn't even get close to that. They were, oh, people are upset. This is what they're writing. They heard the verdict. This is the verdict. This is what people are doing. These are the arrests that were made. At no point did they go into somebody's a thug. She used to date I was like, well, so these people aren't saying the things. Where are the talking points coming from? You know?
I mean, I think you have to get into like the Sean Hannity's and the
Oh, like the
Tucker
late night stuff?
Carlson's and stuff like that or whatever. I think they're the ones who kind of who kind of go in and it's completely a one-sided view of everything. So I think you have to kind of dig a little bit deeper into those individuals.
So it's the stuff that probably come on like in the prime time, like probably
Yeah,
6
like
p.m. to
8,
like 9
9 o'clock.
p.m.
Like they gonna let you ease into your day, but then when you done worked all day, took care of the kids, and you ready to shut it down or whatever, when your defenses are low,
Yeah.
that's when they hit you. I'm saying that's when they go. It's the rubber. It's the rope a dope.
It sounds like what it is because they probably ease you in there and try to get you to say something. Because they even had like 2 black people in it. And I was like, dang, like, here we go. And he's like, I don't know if I tell you my theory on this, but whenever I see a black dude with no facial hair, I just kind of automatically assume he's a conservative person. Or, if he got at least got the little 5 o'clock shadow where it's like noticeably darker than the rest of his face, where he had to shave a lot. But if you ain't got no facial hair and it just kind of, I don't know where I heard that from. It was like an old black dude talking about that, but it's been kind of sort of right. It's not like 100% right. But I saw this dude on the Fox News morning show. He was like a real corporate looking brother, like just real PC, like he was towing the line. And then there was a sister on there that was equally as conservative and corporate in her appearance. And I just knew they was going to just come in with the, we brought these 2 black people on to say, she should have got shot. Nope. It was like, well, if you look at the statistics and if you consider what was happening, I can see why people are upset. I was like, dang, like he's even like showing some kind of sympathy. What up? Some sympathy for the issues that the people were voicing in the protest. So I was just kind of like blown. I was like, man, where are these talking points coming from? I get what you're saying. You're just gonna have to wait. Just gonna have to wait till 8 o'clock every night to hear the hate, huh?
Yeah.
So that's what it was. She used to know a drug dealer that sold drugs and might have cozied up to him, like too many of his pictures.
And it was a lot of different things that were going on. They were saying that she had received packages at her house at that particular address, but they reached out to the post office general, I guess, for the area or whatever. Yeah. And they're like, if she hadn't received like any packages in the year of 2020 at her house. So it's like, I mean, it's just crazy, man. How everything that was so wrong disaligned so rightly for them. So it's just a very, very unfortunate situation.
So it sounds like if you was actually being flippant objective about looking at things, you couldn't come up with a reason she should have gotten shot 8 times.
I mean, as I said, the police officer should not have been there. Like it shouldn't have been a warrant or anything like that or whatever.
Yeah.
You do have to pay attention to the fact that the police officers were in the house. Somebody was shooting at the police officers, and the police officer shot back. that's where I was like, I don't think you can arrest a police officer or fire a police officer for being in a situation where they're getting shot at
Mm.
and they shoot back. Like I just don't. I didn't see that happening at all.
Right.
Especially, you know. But the thing, that's why I say it was more on the entire justice system because they shouldn't have been there in the first place. Like
Like
they should,
everything before the shooting started.
everything before the shooting. That's what I'm saying. Like the judge who signed off on the warrant, they should have been brought in. The lieutenant from at the police officer who said we're going to do a no knock warrant or whatever, they should have been brought in. All these different people the people who wrote, now the police officers who wrote a false police report, they writing a false police report or whatever, you should be held accountable for that. You know, the way the investigation went down or whatever, all those people should be held accountable for all those things that went wrong in what went down here. And that's why I'm saying it's a system. It's not one or two rogue people. It is a system to where they got together and said, this is the story that we're going to tell or whatever. Everybody play your part.
Like everybody and everybody locked and step.
Yes.
This will make me think about like how the elections usually work. Like the conservative Republicans, they not trying to figure out who's gonna get the vote, where they coming from, do we like him, what's his policy. They like, nah, fuck that. We just gonna vote for him. And you know, like the report said, 51% of surveyed white voters in America by a Gallup poll said if the election were to happen back in June when the poll came out, they were still gonna vote for Trump.
Yeah.
It was like, there's nothing to think about with us. We're not thinking about this. We're going straight forward. And it sounds like what you're saying, the same thing happened. When they come to upholding some fuck shit, they own it. So Drill said he fired one shot.
Yeah, they said the boyfriend, they were saying that it was kind of a warning shot. It wasn't like I mean the police the shot that he fired, it hit the police officer. So as I said, I just think it was just a bad situation to where they shouldn't have been there in the first place. Or if they were there, it should have been not a where the police officers. You know, it shouldn't have been a no-knock warrant. Like as I said, that's how bad it was when you can't even do that. What they did, you can't do that anymore legally in the state of Kentucky. That proves that was a flawed tactic when they were like, "Hey, we ain't gonna do that no more."
When they immediately was like,
they made a law after the Breonna law, where you can't do a no-knock warrant anymore.
That's an admission of guilt.
It's
a sly admission of guilt.
And as I said, and then for her to not to get medical attention, for you to write a police report that nobody got hurt. I mean, that's just negligence, man. I mean, it's just.
I don't know about negligence. It's like that's step after step after step, turn after turn after turn. They're choosing to do the wrong thing.
As I said, it's systematic. That's the definition of something being systematic, to where 10 people are involved, 10 people are all on the same page.
Doing the wrong thing.
Yeah, on the wrong thing, yeah.
And supporting each other in their wrongdoing.
Yes.
Listen, man.
And it was a bad look for the attorney general to be a black guy. I mean, it was just a bad look to where it's like, you know, he's the head of the investigation. He's the one that's making the reports. And as I said, and they're propping this guy up to be the next.
He's the golden boy. Yeah, he's the golden boy. He might get no luck.
He's gonna come up off of this.
He is. It's
gonna be sad, but he's gonna come up off of this.
I heard an old head say, he going down in history is as he's like, congratulations, young fella, you just made history. You're going to be forever known as the Uncle Tom linked to the Breonna Taylor case. Like, every generation, we need one. You the one for this move. Like, you that one that is going to go down in history in the black community has been the Uncle Tom that sold us out in this situation.
Man, the thing that when he agreed to speak at the Republican National Convention, that's when I was like, There's no way.
Yeah.
There's no way. Because they're not going to be like, all right, speak here and then rule against us. Because they would have been like, nah, like, we invited you to the convention. Like, if we would have known you were going to do that, we wouldn't
We'll
invite
let
you.
you in.
So as soon as he, not only, I mean, it's one thing for them to invite you, it's a whole nother thing for you to accept it. Like, that's like, you can't just say, nah, it's not a good time for me.
Look at
Like, I'll catch y'all the next 4 years.
another connection that I made that I thought was indicative of what would happen or the verdict. Mitch McConnell, who's the fucking leader of the Senate, for the
Yeah. And he represents Kentucky.
he's from Kentucky.
Yeah.
Like I was like, oh, he's like maybe like not that he's like on a short list of powerful people, but you the head of the Senate, not the House of Representatives, the Senate, which only has 100 motherfuckers in that job. You're in charge of all of them. You got to speak for all of them. So I knew something was going to be shady about the results. I made that connection. What you think about what Chuck said, man? Charles Barkley and his comments about this being different than George Floyd because the boyfriend should not have shot at the cops, or he did shoot at the cops.
There's a basis of truth in what Chuck said it, but like a lot of things that Chuck says, he doesn't bring a lot of nuance to anything. Chuck is a basketball player. He's a power forward. You know, Chuck fought people for a living, so nuance is not his strong point. That's not his strong. So I mean, yes, the police officers were in a situation to where somebody was shooting at them, so naturally the police officers are going to shoot back. As I said, that's why I say the police officers shouldn't have been there in the first place. They should not have. It's a situation to where, they just shouldn't have been there. Yeah. But yes, that does weigh into how things are going to play out. Is the fact that the boyfriend. I mean, but there's also like a lot of people have come against Chuck in the last couple of days or whatever, and they've brought up interviews to where Charles Barkley has said that he has carried a gun with him since the age of 21, 22 every day of his life. And if you carry a gun with you every day of your life, if somebody comes into your house and you have that gun, you are going to use it to defend yourself and to defend your family.
As well, I
mean, we've seen Charles pop off for a lot less.
Yeah, a whole lot less.
I'm from Orlando, and Charles was in Orlando one night at a bar, and he threw a guy out through the window. He didn't throw him out of the bar. He threw the guy through the glass window. I remember hearing about
that as a kid.
Yeah, as I said, I'm from Orlando, so that happened in Orlando.
I find it hard to believe that Charles Barkley would not use his gun to protect his white wife and biracial children of 20 years.
That's just, I don't think he's married to her anymore. I don't think he's married anymore. He was married to a white.
But Brill just said the police officer that was fired was let go because he had tons of reports filed against him about trying to sleep with white women. Was he a black dude? Oh, well, yeah. So listen, man. Like you said, Pledge, you hit on the head. That whole system fucked up. That whole department foul. That whole jurisdiction trash. Hot trash. I don't know, man. I just tried to avoid that because I knew that wasn't going to end well, and it still kind of gave me a little bit of anxiety. When the verdict got dropped, I remember waking up in the middle of the night a couple times after that. Mm. But it's always because I don't know. I just feel like there's always an option. You know what I mean? Like, kind of one of those people, even if you got a gun pointed at your head, there's still an option. And sometimes that option might be that you need, like we said, tens of thousands of people, hundreds of thousands of people to be lock and step into fulfilling that option. But I always kind of find myself dismayed because I don't have faith that I know how to galvanize tens of thousands of people into making the necessary move. Um, mm, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Uh, Maybe I can get 20, 30 people, but I don't know, man. I don't feel hopeless about the odds in our situation, in the country. I just feel hopeless at times about the engagement necessary to accomplish a lot of stuff. So, anybody noticed that I kind of tried to take a break from social media? Uh, wanted to take a break from Facebook, but I can't because of the show. We'll move everything to YouTube players. Maybe I'll be able to disconnect from it. But grassroots level organizing, civic engagement, uh, starting to hear that from a lot of professors lately that are trying to make themselves available to the public,
Mm-hmm.
by podcast or live stuff like that. A lot of guys are saying, man, okay, a lot of people have the knowledge about different concepts on what to do, but we need people that are more energized about engagement and organization than we do people sitting talking on the mic.
I mean, I think that people have um, different strengths, and I think that's one thing about, hopefully people can come together and say, hey, this is what I specialize in.
Mm-hmm.
This is like I was saying, like the voter registration. They had I think Bun B had something earlier this week. I think they had a forum, like an online forum
Yeah,
that is normally in person, but this year it was virtually or whatever. And Bun B, he was working with a couple of people that were like literally out in the streets, like every day.
mm-hmm.
This is their job,
Mm-hmm.
but they work together.
Right.
And the lady she was like, the political strategist, or the lady who's out, working every day. She's like, I devote my life to this. Like, she's
Yeah,
like, I do this every day. I
yeah,
know, what it takes or whatever. And so she was kind of mad. She's like, when, rappers or entertainers or sports figures who don't know what all it takes or whatever makes comments that kind of take away from her work that she dedicated her life to.
yeah, yeah.
And she like made it a point. She's like, I work with Bum B or whatever. Bum B helps me or whatever, but in return, I don't tell Bum B what to put on the track. Like, she's like,
Yeah, yeah.
she was saying, she was like, hey, but what she was saying is that, hey, we have to work together though. Like,
Mm-hmm.
everybody has to, like, there's different strengths that you has, there's different people that you can reach, there's different influences that
Yeah.
you have and whatever. But if we all can come together and put it all together or whatever, that's how you maximize or amplify the word that we're trying to get out. And so I think that's what it has to be, is unity and working together towards the same thing.
Yes, we need more workers, man. That's the long and short of it. To your point, uh, because like you said, like I feel like that lady that you're describing, that profile is in every city, right?
Yeah.
Uh, the lady that I ran into this week in my volunteer efforts, she kind of sounded like she that fit that same profile. Very fiery about the cause, you know, unlimited energy, going from one event to the next, just fighting, 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 fighting. And it just seems, yeah, only been to one event, that ain't nobody there helping. Like when I walked in to volunteer, she was like, "Oh, thank God, we need more men." And I was like, that was
Mm.
the first thing she said to me. Like it wasn't even much else to be discussed. But if y'all are listening, man, like Player said, your strength ain't got to be the person that come up with the plan and you know what to do. If you voting and you feel like you're good and squared away on that. I know I found myself personally feeling like social media just wasn't the place to continue to preach about it on the soapbox. I was like, you know what? Let me just say nothing and, you know, finally do some of the stuff I've been talking about doing since I've been here. I told myself, if I catch the Rona for being out here volunteering, trying to help people, then, so be it. At least I feel good about why I caught it. Not doing something stupid like catching a flight or eating in a restaurant, but, something that I was willing to have put on my tombstone. So, uh, anybody, man. I know you work, you do your thing in your community, but anybody
What's up?
listening, find somebody to volunteer for. Like, the NAACP is everywhere. You can use that. Kiwanis Club, they're everywhere. Um, Go volunteer at a school. Just volunteer. Just walk in if you got a day off and ask, hey, I want to volunteer. What do I do to volunteer? They probably gonna have you fill out a form, and the form is
Yeah,
probably gonna do a
a lot of times you
background
have to
check
do
on you.
like a process.
Yeah, it's a background
Become
check.
a become a certified volunteer.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, it's you have to do it yearly, but and once you do it yearly, you're pretty much good for the whole county that you want
Really?
to volunteer in. And so yeah, so you fill it out once a year. You say you want to be a volunteer, and then basically whatever you do, you're good in that county for that year.
Yeah. I mean, let's be honest though. This ain't for lazy folk. This ain't for folk that don't want to work hard. Because Lord knows I was beat, bro. Like after that event, I was like, oh, it's 5:30. Cool, let me get out here and, you know, enjoy my Friday night, get ready for the game, get me something to eat. I got to the house, took a shower, and I was like, yo, I just want to lay down. I just want to lay down. And I know
Yeah.
a huge part of that because I'm wildly out of shape, but you know, it's not easy work, by no stretch. So, but it's worth it, man. Like it's gratifying. Ain't no praise. You don't get no praise. You ain't finna get no likes. I mean, you ain't finna thankless work, but people are concerned, man. Like I was talking to Glenn last night. If you don't feel the need to get involved on the ground at this point in history, you ain't gonna never want to get involved.
Yeah.
Like the kind of shit that's happening now, bro.
Yeah. If this don't move you, nothing will.
Yeah. Like we got to the point and we was thinking, I don't know if you've ever seen this quote, but it's a quote from a passage about the Holocaust. And this person was saying, when they came for the Jewish people, I didn't say anything because I wasn't Jewish. It just kind of went down this list of things, these groups that this person that was speaking wasn't a member of. And
Yeah.
then she was like, I didn't speak up. When we came for the second group, I didn't speak up. When it came for the third group, I didn't speak up. Then it got down to the fifth group. I was a
Became
part of the fifth group,
yeah.
and there was nobody left to speak up for me. And
Yeah, I've heard that before.
yeah, yeah. And so, the crux of that quote is, this ain't about right, left, Republican, Democrat, black, white, poor, rich. It's about flat out humanity, man. Just
Yeah.
common decency type shit. Like you should know it's wrong for a police officer to beat on citizens. You should know it's wrong for a police officer to fire a rubber pellet, be damned, at the head and the eye of a peaceful protester. Like, do we need something crazy for that? We know it. We should be up in arms about our federal government waiting 7 months to concoct a plan to deal with the pandemic when other countries are equally, if not less equipped than we are, and they're just about past this thing, and we're just now talking about it.
Yeah. And the unfortunate thing that people are taking their cues from from the political party. I mean, that's the unfortunate thing about this situation is that people don't want to, um, deviate from what their party dictates how they react to situations a lot of times. And so I think some people know in their heart what's right, but they don't want to be seen as an outsider or, as somebody who, who breaks. the party line.
Yeah. I mean, and I get it, man. It's scary. It's scary standing up for the right thing and it's not popular, you know?
Yeah,
So I certainly get it. But you don't want to wake up one day and wish you did something different. I
true.
mean, I know it's 6 million Jewish Americans, Jewish Germans. Would that be the word? German citizens that are of Jewish ethnicity. Wish people would have stood up for them because they weren't doing nothing wrong. It wasn't immoral. Certainly wasn't a crime. But then Glenn was thinking, like, do you think, we have the benefit of history to tell us that Hitler was targeting people that didn't have blonde hair, blue eyes, white skin. But do you think Hitler was out and out putting up posters saying, if you don't have blue eyes, blonde hair, white skin, we're going to arrest you? Do you think he put that up on a bulletin anywhere?
Nah.
So if you wasn't paying attention, you got. And I know we like to think of Trump as the big bad in this particular film, and yes, he is. But we can look at the AG and Breonna Taylor's case. We had to wait until he did something sinister like speak at the Republican National Convention before we started thinking, okay, maybe this guy's a bad guy. Didn't have to wait that late. I don't know, man. Just got to do more. Got to do more. See Kendra saying that's why people say F the police. People know who's crooked in the department, and they all just back each other up and corroborate their stories. He guts to do the right thing. I guess that's the moral of today's sermon. And it's hard, man. Do the right thing, pledge.
Yes. No doubt.
I don't know. Can't even get people to agree on what Christianity means no more. But anyway, man, we made it. I didn't even know we did 120 minutes. I mean, an hour and 20 minutes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But anyway, anything you want to add, man?
Nah, that's it, man. Just vote. That's what I want to tell the people. I'm pretty sure everybody who's who's a loyal listener is already in that camp.
Yeah.
But just vote, and early voting has already started in some states. So
we start next week up here.
Look into the options that are being made available to you, and figure out the most strategic way you want to move throughout everything, and make it happen.
Yeah. Please help. Please, we need.
And back up you. Volunteer. Find ways to make a positive impact. My thing is always, I've always kind of listened to the W.D. Roy's advice that it's easier to build strong children as opposed to repair broken men, whatever. So I'm always kind of leaning towards the mentorship thing and finding ways to get involved in, with young men that are trying to find their way in this world or whatever, whether it be in the middle school or the high school age range or whatever, and kind of help them brothers get off to a great start. So
every little bit helps.
Yes.
Every little bit helps. Trust me, you might not get a paycheck, but you'll get a peace of mind that rivals a paycheck. You get to sleep at night. And so just do what you can, guys. And thank you for tuning in. Subscribe, share. If you're on Facebook, share it. If you're on YouTube, share it. If you are anywhere, hit the share button. Get the followers up if we can. Get the listeners up if we can. On YouTube, SoundCloud, Facebook, Spotify, Stitcher, Pocket Radio, iHeartRadio.
Apple.
Yes, Apple. All platforms except for Tidal. Keep gotta register for that. But
I'm about to call Jay, man, and get that straightened out, man.
listen, man, Jay ain't picking up, man. Jay too busy out here
Goodness.
fighting these real battles instead of trying to get our pod on the platform.
I'm about to call him and tell him
man.
to shoot your boy a favor. So
Yeah, holla at your boy, man. We thank you guys. We appreciate you guys for commenting. Appreciate you all for liking the video. To the 5 listeners that have been with us the entire time, we appreciate you guys. Might not know your names, certainly can't see your names on the platform that we're on, but we appreciate you guys. And we'll see you guys next time.
God bless. Prayers.